So here in assignment 58, we're going to set up communication between PC3 and PC4. PC3 will be the SSH client and PC4 will be the SSH server. The aim of using SSH is to be able to control PC4 over from PC3. And we're going to set up using SSH a secured communication channel between the two devices. I have drawn the two devices down here where we can see the TCP IP stack. We have the first three layers here, physical data link and network, and then the transport layer where we have the ports, and then the application layer where we have the applications. And there's something new here. We can see that we have an SSL layer put in here. That also counts for our server here. So what we're going to achieve here is that we're going to set up a secure channel between the client and the server, between the two SSL layers. Obviously, behind the scenes, we have a TCP channel at the transport layer. We can already see here that I have indicated that the server is by default configured to listen on port 22, and the client operating system and the TCP stack in tandem, they will decide on a source port for the SSH client. Let us see this in action over on the actual PCs. If we move into PC3 here, also represented down here by its TCP IP stack, we open up a terminal window. There we go. And what I do is I start we start the SSH program by typing SSH, and then I know there's a user over on PC4 called peer to type in an @ sign, and then you put in the IP address of the server you want to SSH connect to. So let us see what's happening here.
You wrote 2 H's instead of 2 S's.
Oh. Here we go. And this is the password that the user peer over on PC4 has. You have to be careful here about your users and passwords. But I have a user over on, as I said, over on PC4. His name is Peer. It's a bit confusing because I also have a user on PC3 called Peer, but it's totally different users. So I type in the password for the user Peer over on PC4 because this is where I want to connect to, as you see by the IP address. And magic happens. It now says that this terminal window here is running, taking the output from PC4, as you can see now indicated by the prompt here. Now PC3, this is where I am. I'm on PC3. This is PC3, all this here, is now operating PC4, as if I were sitting on PC4. What this is I am from PC3 able to remotely operate PC4. This is in essence what SSH is doing for you. You can also operate the VSIX, and you will actually have to do that in assignment 58. We can try now to also use to log in from our Windows host computer. To do that, I will open the command prompt. I'm actually right now with this window on my host computer. I've already installed my SSH program on the Windows box. So to log into PC4, I call the SSH program. The user is, again, of course, Peer, and the IP address .2. And you get some warnings here. You will have to look into what that is. When you work your way through assignment 58, you'll also get into this stuff about what are public and private keys, and where are they stored, and why do we need to know that? But anyways, this is just a demo. So I will type in the password, and it's the password for PC4. This password here for the user who is on PC4, and that is he's called Per, as you can see. So let's type in that password. Now on my Windows box, I have a PC4 prompt. So you can actually sit now remotely on your Windows box and operate your various devices as long as they have the SSH server installed. So this is what this assignment is about, logging in remotely, for example, from your Windows host computer to your devices, the networking devices, so you can sit centrally and operate your devices. To exit the SSH program, you simply type exit. And in this case here, you will be back on your Windows prompt. We can also log into our router from our Windows machine, as they are on the same network here. There will be a route on the Windows box to this network and thus to the GE002, the .1 IP address interface here. So let's try that. You start the SSH program and type in the router, the username, add the IP address, and there you go. Say yes to that and enter your password. And here we go. We are in. We can operate the router now from our Windows box via SSH in our what is usually our command prompt window program here.